All right, guys, this is a late night alert. I've been traveling all day and I wanted to get this video out to you guys because there has been a security alert, a attack on a nuclear power plant in the US. All right, this just happened tonight and we could see more of these events in the future. All right, the government has been getting prepared for something like this to happen for months. They've been running drills in Iowa, the National Guard. I made a whole video on it, how they are running chemical, biological, radiological drills in Iowa for stadiums. All right, they're getting prepared for some kind of event, and nuclear power plants are now being attacked as well. And this power plant is right in the middle of a bunch of major cities as well. All right, so this could have been a big event. This could have been the big one in America for them to lock down everything. All right, thankfully there was no radioactive spillage, there was no explosions, there was no fires, anything like that, but there was an attempted attack, a security incident at a nuclear power plant. All right, and this is just proof that we need to be more fortified. Our critical infrastructure needs to be fortified to the max. All right, we could see cyber attacks on our nuclear power plants as well, especially if things in the Middle East, this World War III scenario, ramps up and countries like Iran get involved. We could definitely see cyber attacks on our nuclear power plants. And when a nuclear power plant is attacked, it's essentially like dropping a nuclear bomb in that area. All right, that's essentially what you're doing when you target these power plants. And the FBI also just warned as well that we're going to see these domestic attacks. All right, the FBI just put out this emergency warning just a few days ago, saying that we could see domestic attacks in the US, and now we see this attack at a nuclear power plant. All right, so big things are going on. All right, you need to be getting prepared. You need to be getting your family out of these big cities. This was like triangulated right in the middle of these three major cities, and this could have been a big one. This could have been a major event that happened. And you need to get iodine, you need to get nascent iodine, you need to get potassium, iodide pills, so you can be prepared if there is a big event that happens in the US. All right, so let's get into all the details here. There was an attack on a nuclear power plant in South Carolina. This was in Oconee County, South Carolina, Oconee, South Carolina. All right, and this just happened tonight. There was a major security incident and somebody tried to breach the nuclear power plant and they rammed into the guards. All right, I'm going to read it here. Security alert at Duke Power Nuclear Plant after a man rams into a gate and tried to hit multiple security guards with shots fired. All right, and there's been all these stories lately, all these suspicious stories that have been going on. This just came out in court documents just a little bit ago, how they were planning to put explosives on the train tracks in Pennsylvania. All right, this is an ongoing court case right now, and the documents were just released saying that these people are in court for doing this, and they just released evidence saying that these people were planning to plant explosives on the train tracks in Pennsylvania. All right, and there actually was explosives planted there a few months ago. But you can see here, this stuff's happening all over the place. Security alert, and he rammed into the gate and he tried to hit multiple security guards and shots fired. Multiple authorities are currently searching for a suspect driving a silver 2002 Toyota Camry. The suspect drove into pop-up barricades, crashed through a fence, and attempted to hit multiple security guards at the Duke Power Nuclear Plant in Oconee County, South Carolina. According to deputies, the incident occurred around 8:05 p.m. This just happened tonight, and this guy is on the loose apparently and could go anywhere. And this could just be the test run. This could be the test run to see what the response is going to be, because there could be groups that go in and target these power plants as well. They're extremely vulnerable. They do have heavy security, but these are places that need to be treated like military bases, all right, the level of security that they need, because if a power plant is targeted, that's a nuclear radiological incident in the US, and that could be grounds for them to clamp down, declare martial law, troops on the streets, all these things to take away more of your rights. It goes on to say that the driver then fled the plant's exit, where he also tried to hit security truck with a guard inside. Shots were reported to have been fired during the incident. All right, this is happening in Oconee County, South Carolina. And this nuclear power plant is right in the middle of Atlanta, Georgia, Greensboro, South Carolina, and Asheville, North Carolina is right north of it. All right, Greensville is right to the east of it, and Atlanta is to the southwest of it. All right, so if something happened here, this would have affected these three major cities, and they could have been under lockdown. All right, they could have been under shelter in place or even evacuation situations where you would have had to get out. All right, and think about just all these explosions, all these fires, all these attacks on our grid. If you remember, this was memory hold, all these different events. There were attacks in Tacoma, Washington. People were smashing the electric substations with hammers, all right? And there were mass power outages in Tacoma, Washington. This happened in Las Vegas a few months ago. This was totally swept under the rug, where this guy broke into one of the biggest solar power stations in the country outside of Las Vegas, and he rammed his car into one of the generators, all right, and he got it into this hole. This generator was like in this hole, and he rammed it in this hole and lit his car on fire and just stood there and let it burn to destroy the generation capacity for this solar plant. All right, and this place had damage for months. It took them months to repair all the stuff, and he was just ramming his car, smashing it into stuff, and then he smashed it into this generator and lit it on fire. All right, so all this stuff is going on, and it's just swept under the rug. All right, and if we see one at a nuclear power plant, that's my point here, is that it's not going to be able to be swept under the rug. We might have a East Palestine, Ohio situation where people's homes are destroyed and their property values are destroyed, and they have toxic chemical waste all throughout their property. This could happen as well in other parts of the US, and it could be a radiological disaster instead. All right, and you can bet that if something like that happens, the government is going to come in and force people off their land. Look at Maui, look at Hawaii, all these different things. People have been forced off of their land from these massive disasters. All right, and we could see one like this. We could see one like this, and it could be the big one where they have to evacuate like entire states, entire portions of states need to be evacuated and cleared out. All right, and there's also a lot of weird stuff going on with people in general. People are freaking out right now. People are losing it right now. And there's been a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. I made a whole video about it a little bit ago, how the signal has been going out. The signal has been going out. There could be stress responses being put out, targeting certain people. All these programs are real as well. MK Ultra, Project Artichoke. I've covered these things extensively, how there's mind control programs as well that could be being activated right now. Sleeper cell programs. All these things are also in the background waiting to be activated on top of the borders wide open. All right, Millions of people are flooding in. We don't know who they are. They are getting paid all this money. They're getting a stipend. They're getting phones. They're getting housing. They're getting cars. Who's paying for them? Why are they paying for them? It's like a separate paramilitary force is being imported into our country, and we're funding it and housing them and everything else as well. All right, so there's a bunch of stuff going on, and we are seeing an activation. All right, there's going to be more events like this. There's going to be more attacks. The next one could be a group of people. The next one could have just been a test run to see what their response is going to be. How did this person get away? How did this person do all this and then they got away as well? Just none of this stuff makes sense, and we need to be looking at it with high suspicion. All right, there could be false flag events as well, where this could be a setup. This could be a setup. This could be a patsy. All right, so please hit it up for me down there to help get this video out to more people. People need to know what's going on, and they need to be ready just in case an event like this does happen. Thankfully, there was no radiological events, but we got lucky. All right, the next one could be it, and they could use it to expel people from this region, to have a nationwide martial law lockdown. All these things are on the table, and we know that they want to use one of these big events to activate it. All right, that's why all this other stuff's going on overseas. So make sure you guys are getting your family prepared. Get out of these cities. Get yourself some nascent iodine, some potassium iodine, all this stuff. Get selenium, magnesium, vitamin D. Get all these things in your regimen. But especially for these types of disasters, you want to have some kind of pure iodine that your body can readily absorb. And that also helps with decalcification as well. All right, so get prepared, get stocked up. All right, guys, they want something big to happen so they can use it as the excuse. Problem, reaction, solution. That's what we are reading here. So go get some sleep if you guys are still up. It's late right now, but big stuff's happening. Even when we sleep, stuff's happening, and it's one of these things we could wake up overnight. The world's changed. All right, so thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.